I got to get the camera over here, you guys know. All right, we got going on. We're gonna talk about some exercises we do with our slide board. Like Coach Manny said, we do a lot of different things here as far as hamstring work, as far as squats, as far as hang clean. But we want to talk about really hamstring work here and your core work. If you do not have a slide board at your facility, you can get some towels or socks, and use a hardwood floor. Use all the exercises. If you got any more questions of that, we talk about it later, and I can tell you how you can implement it into your program. But first, we're going to use our leg curls. Do leg curl, double leg curls. And the first thing is, Danny got to make sure he touches his butt to the edge of the slide board. Lift his glutes up. All you're doing is going down, come back up. Push through the heels. Make sure his heels on the towel, toes are up. Tighten his abs. Get his head flat on the floor. Because if you lift his head up, you might have hurt his neck a little bit, but keep everything straight. Control reps. Like Coach Manny always is a big stickler on a 4-second negative and a slow back. Like 1,001, 1,002. See there, that's it. He has to do it again. So you're a stickler on the negative and slow back up. All right, good. So now, once our athletes graduate from the 2-foot leg curls, which is, it takes some time, we go to single leg. Now, single leg, you got to get the foot up. You want to try to tell them to kick, stomp the ceiling, so foot straight up in the air. Now, this is hard. They got to come out, keep his butt up, squeeze it, down slow. Now, this is one of the most difficult ones, so it takes some time to get to the single leg. Good, good. Once again, still, we'll say 3 now. It's a 3-second negative. Once again, pushing the pressure in his heels, toes are up. There you go. All right, relax. Good, good. Oh, I didn't introduce him. This is my man. This is Felino, one of the interns, and this is Andy, one of our other interns. These guys do a fantastic job, and I handpicked these guys to do these drills. All right, the next one will be the side lunge. Side lunge. What you're going to do, the coach's point on this one is, when he go down, make sure his toe is behind his, not toe, his knee behind his toe. Because what it is, some guys go down and bend over at the waist, and we don't want that. We want to make sure you keep an athletic position, chest up all the time, and back flat. Good. You're going to go down, you're going to pull back with the inner thigh muscles. There you go, good. Now, for somebody the first time doing it, don't go down as far. You'll go down halfway, come back up. Because if you go down too far for the first time, you might not be able to get back up. So you want to squeeze it. All right, perfect. Now let's get to the other side. Andy got the other side. Once again, make sure your chest up, back flat. Make sure his knee, sit back, knee is behind his toe. So you got to sit back a little bit. There you go. Good, good. There you go. All right, relax, good. Now the next one is reverse lunge. Reverse lunge. You're going to face away from the slide board. You're going to, once again, chest up, back flat. You're going to step back as far as you can go. If you're advanced, if it's brand new, you go back a little bit, go back halfway, and then come back up to get used to it. There you go. On the front foot, you're going to push to his heel. Push to his heel. Do not bend at the waist. A lot of people want to bend at the waist because they got their core is weak or they went down too far, but you're doing a fantastic job. Good, good. All right, you got butterflies. Now, the butterfly is working inner thigh muscles. Now, if you're a male doing male inner thigh with a female, it's kind of uncomfortable, or vice versa. So, to get all that uncomfortability out of there, we have them doing themselves by giving them 2 towels and sliding down, come back up. Now, with this right here, once again, you got to keep your chest up, back flat. If you bend over at the waist, now you're cheating yourself, using momentum to pull yourself up. So good, good. Now, once again, if it's the first time somebody ever did it, don't go down as far because you might get stuck. So go down, gradually work your way down to where you can come back up without hurting yourself or being uncomfortable. You know, perfect, perfect. Now we're going to do some ab exercises. Now the first one will be the ab the rollout or the ab wheel. Now we're gonna get as close as possible to the edge of the slide board. He's gonna roll out with his hands. When he rolls out, we're gonna make sure his back is flat. You don't want to hyperextend because it'll hurt your back. Keep your back flat and pull yourself up through your hands and through your abs. Good, good. Now this right here, you want to go out slow. You want to go out slow and then pull yourself back, slow back. But like I said, the coach's point is keep a flat back and pull yourself back with your abs. And breathe. A lot of guys forget to breathe on this one. All right, relax. Good job. Good job. Now the next one is the pike. Now his hands going to be on the edge, on the wood, and his feet going to be on the towel. You go straight down. Good. Once again, keep it flat back. Keep it flat back. Flat back. Perfect. There you go. Awesome. Awesome. Good. All right, good, good. Now we have a couple more ab exercises. We got the twist. It's the pike twist with a knee bend. This is the modified version. The knee bend. Good, good. See how he turn his torso, get it turned. There you go. Bring it back. Some people cheated. They just turn a tad bit. So they say they turn, but he turned the whole. Want to try to turn as much as possible to get the full activation of the abdominal muscles. Now you got the straight leg one. This is the hard one. So if you get down packed, now you got the straight legged. There you go. Good, good. Turn as far as possible. Awesome. There you go. Good. Get one more. Get one more. One more. All right, perfect. Now we got the runners. Runners or mountain climbers. Now with these, you want to emphasize, get the knees up to your chest. We're going to go as fast as possible. So we'll go about 30 seconds. That's a long time. We go about 30 seconds. We're not going to do it today. But you're going to keep it flat back. You're going to get the knees up to your chest. Fast you can go. Just like that. Perfect, perfect. Now give me 2 more seconds. Come on. All right, time. Good, good. All right, next one. You got this one. We got it now, since these two guys love bench pressing, love chest. So I found some exercise to do for your chest on here. The fly, so put it on your knee. So that's all it is a fly. You go how far as you can go, come back up. Down slow, down slow, down slow, and squeeze it back at the top. Good, good. There you go. One more, one more. Good. Now this right here, we will not do these like first day of a freshman get here today or tomorrow. We're not doing these with the freshmen. They are gradually work themselves into being able to do that. That's hard. You're going out, sliding down, control yourself back up. No, we're not having freshmen doing that. They might take them about 3 or 4 weeks or 2 or 3 months to get to that stage. All right. Now you're going to do these with a push-up. You're going to do a push-up. Push up, back up, and slide it forward. Once again, with this is a hard one. We will not do these with freshmen until maybe this time. They came in July. So if it's February, they might be able to do by February. But we will not have these guys, a freshman, come in and do something like this. Or a guy that's fresh off of shoulder surgery. You got to be somebody that's healthy or relaxed. All right, get the other arm too. You can't do the right arm. I got a little sweat coming on.
Hot in here.
All right, good. Now, with all these exercises we do, like I said, Coach Manny said, we do a variety of some of everything. So like he just said, he don't know what we're doing next week. We know we have a blueprint we're going to do. We're going to do bench press on Tuesday. We're going to do squat on Monday. We're going to do hang clean on Thursday. But other than that, we look through the whole weight room and figure out what we're going to do. Sometimes we try to figure out what's the exercise that hurt them the most. How are we going to hurt these guys the most and get them stronger at the same time. But not hurting the bad way, hurting in a sore way. So we will do these. We'll usually superset these with a leg exercise. So we might have leg press superset with leg curls on the slide board. Or we might have squat superset with glute bridges. Show them the glute bridge. All right. Now glute bridges, other exercise we do for hamstrings. Heels in the ground, toes up, butt up, down slow. Squeeze it up top. Now, right now, everybody more advanced, so pick their leg up. We'll do a single leg glute bridge. So, all right, thanks, good. So we just stay away from the leg curl machine because we only have 4 of them, and sometimes we might have 20 guys in there at one time. So we try to find different exercises to do that we have more guys do at one time. So, you got any questions? Anybody got any questions? Yeah.
What can you use for the board?
A hardwood floor.
Right.
And then you use a towel to slide up.
Right, but what about like for the board?
Oh well, you don't need the board.
You don't need to
no, you don't need that. The board here is basically cheating for so they have a landmark. Oh.
I need my mic.
Yeah.
We're going to show you some core exercises. One of the popular trends nowadays are these anti-rotation and kind of anti-movement exercises in the sense that the spine doesn't move. Normally, of course, the spine moves. Well, you'll do flexion exercises like sit-ups. Well, some of the trend now is not to do that and do these anti-rotation type movements. Now, this trend is all around a certain group of people who believe that there's only a certain amount of cycles that the low back can handle of sit-ups, and after that, you'd end up hurting your low back. We don't subscribe to that. So while we're going to show you these exercises that we program, we'll usually include some sort of a sit-up exercise in our workouts also, just so you know. Okay? Molly?
All right, first exercise, it's called the wide stance anti-rotation. We stole this from Eric Cressy this summer when we went to see him out at the Perform Better Clinic. So the thing that you're working on this is you're working core along with hip mobility and T-spine mobility. You'll tell your athlete to get as wide as possible, comfortably possible. Some people can't get as comfortable as Dylan is this wide. That's fine. Just get them as wide as you can. You're going to get a nice groin stretch out of it too. And then you're going to have the lever should be right about chest height. We do these on our Kaiser machines over in Jenison. You could use a band. You can also use a bar if you don't have a rope like this. So hands are at chest height. Hands are also shoulder width apart. All he's going to do is he's going to move his arms across. The torso doesn't rotate. Neither do the hips. They stay in the same spot. Great anti-rotation movement. Good.
Works groin, works glute, works ab.
The next exercise on the list, we showed this a couple years ago. We've got a couple different variations for it now to show you guys. We call this the lift with rotation. We also perform this on our Kaiser machine. In our weight room, you'll see duct tape about 3 or 4 feet lined up, and we'll tell our athletes, get directly on the line. So the back foot, toes are pointed up, dorsiflex like that. That same knee's on the line, and then the front foot, straight. Even during this exercise, when they'll start to turn their foot left or right. That's going to help them balance. A little bit wider the base, it's going to help them. But you want the base as narrow as possible. The first thing we'll tell our athletes is squeeze their glutes and lock their core in. Only the arms are going to move on this exercise too. He's going to extend this right arm, and then he's going to rotate the bar to vertical. Everything has to stay tight. You'll see people try and upper body it immediately, and their lower body's all over the place, but the glutes are firing. Everything's working in this. The way to progress it, a lot of times you can start people just kneeling and then switch to the half kneeling. How we'll progress our athletes is we'll go to the low split. So that way we're working the lower body. His back knee's about a couple inches off the floor, and they've got to maintain that for 10 to 12 reps. And the last variation that we have for this one, to get some glute on this left side, is single leg. Same thing, arms are moving, torso stays in the same spot.
I love this movement now when he's on a single leg, because if you're working with the female population, the injury that you're always worried about is the disease. Yeah, I knew that. So if they put him on one leg, you want to work obviously hamstring for sure, glute max, and glute med. And if you put somebody on a single leg, on one leg, you really get great glute med.
The other variation that we have is the lift with press. Getting ahead of yourself. Lift with press, so we'll go through those same stages again. We'll go the half kneeling, we'll go the low split, and then we'll do the single leg. And then we can also program this in as core and as shoulder. So he's going to extend up, and then he's going to press overhead. A lot of times we'll tell the women, hey, this one's core, and then we get a shoulder out of it too. Our last exercise, 2 of them. Pal off, punch. Feet are a little bit wider than shoulder width. Knees are slightly bent. All Dylan's going to do, this is actually an easy one to coach. He's just going to punch out in a straight line. As that's pulling him back, he's got to keep his core nice and tight and keep it going straight. Then we'll vary it up, and we'll do the press overhead. You want to add yours in? Good. Perfect. I'll get the ball. Tennis ball touches. A lot of places have Swiss balls, so that's why we wanted to show you guys this one tonight. So we'll put a tennis ball out. Chest and shoulders, we're working on this as we're getting core. If you have athletes that have terrible balance, we'll tell them to start with their shins on the ball. I've had athletes start even further back than that. And as they progress out on their toes. So all Dylan's going to do is he's going to pull his belly button into a spine, protracted position, and he's going to lightly touch the tennis ball. We'll go for about 20 touches each hand, trying not to move the ball. Head, hips, feet stay in line. You want to show them on your toes? I got it. Yeah. Can you do it? Yeah, getting work today. Just like that. Some of our gymnasts can go single leg on this one. It's amazing. Good. Thanks, Dill.
Okay, let's talk about the barbell squat. Is it important to have your athlete squat as deep as possible? It absolutely is. The studies show that the deeper you go, the more overall activation you get of the lower body, so it's absolutely critical. The problem, of course, well, first of all, what I wanted to ask you is, can everybody squat deep? Well, you guys already know the answer is basically no. Is that influenced by flexibility? Of course it is. But the acetabulum, the depth and diameter of the acetabulum, which I believe is the head of the femur, also plays a role. That kind of, more than anything else, determines how deep people can squat. The reason I wanted to tell you that from some research that I've done on it is that it used to be that we asked everybody to go butt right to the ground. Not everybody's going to be able to do that. It's important to know that. Now, you can work on flexibility for weeks, but motor abilities like flexibility can be enhanced about 10% unless somebody is just lying in bed the whole time. So that's not a lot. So we'll wait about 2 weeks before we move them to different exercises. Now, the exercises that we most often move them to would be exercises like a single leg Bulgarian squat where they'll put their foot elevated and back. We love that exercise because, again, we have a large amount of females, and that Bulgarian squat works more hamstring and more glute than the bilateral squat does. Also, sometimes we'll correct certain things that we see in a squatting technique. For example, when we want people to squat deep, what we'll sometimes see is a lot of forward flexion. The problem with that is, of course, we're worried about people hurting their backs. So what do? A lot of times what we'll have them do is front squat. There's far less shear force. Now you're worried with a female population that you're going to overdevelop their quads and they'll become quad dominant, which is the last thing that you want. But the research that I've done, and I've found studies to show this, EMG studies, shows there's no difference between the back squat and the front squat in quad activation. So feel free to do that. The other thing that you can do, if you see this, because sometimes, you know, 1 out of 15 or 20 people will see this. We'll see a shift, a weight shift. So we have a dominant side or a flexibility problem, and what will happen is they'll slide one way or the other. And what you can do, these are called Cook bands, but you could use any band, is that when they squat, if you pull them into their mistake, they'll self-correct and come up square. Now obviously you don't want to pull too hard. If you got to, you know, we got some gymnasts that are about 100 pounds, so you don't want to pull them onto one leg, but these are some things that you can do so that they can still squat. Questions?
Does a deep squat, I mean, does it put the knee at any risk the deeper you go?
It depends what the malady is, but for the most part the answer to that question is no. There was a review of the literature probably about 10 or 12 years ago that answered that question, and the conclusion of it was no. Always better to go deep. And that's what allows that people do. In fact, some of the greatest stability that they had seen was in powerlifters who are butt right to ground. Any other questions? We'll be here later today and also tomorrow, so if there are other questions, people want to talk shop, we'd be happy to do that. Yep.
Where do you find that study that you were talking about?
Which one?
About even quad activation between the back squat and front squat.
If you send me an email, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
So obviously we're going to do battling ropes tonight. I'm going to show you what we do over in Jenison sometimes for whenever we want to give our athletes a switch up from their ordinary workout. We do what's called a no card, and we'll throw this stuff in as a circuit training. So the first movement Dustin's going to do, it's called singles, or you might have seen it as alternating wave. So he's going to be in a low squat position, and he's just going to whip the rope as fast as possible. After that, we're going to go to doubles. So the rope's going to go at the same time. So together, still in that same squat position, and looking for speed. Once we go from there, we're going to go knobs up with the handles. We're going to do what's called flies. So he's going to reverse his grip. He's going to take a step or two in towards the attachment. And all he's doing is opening up his back, bringing his shoulder blades together, then pulling his chest in as quick as possible. After that, he's going to go back to the original grip. We're going to do singles plus squat, so we want to get some movement in with this. So he's going to get the singles going, squat as deep as he can, and it's just a continuous squat for the time limit. After that, we're going to go doubles plus squat. So he's going to get the same squat in, but now the rope's moving at the same time. After that, we're going to do what we call singles and doubles for power. So we want to get some power involvement in this. So when he takes off, he's going to come up probably on his toes, might leave the ground a little bit, and he's going to slam one side at a time. So we'll do 2, 3 reps. Slam him down. Good. And then we'll do doubles. So 2, 3 reps of that. We always coach him up. We want to hear that rope smack that ground. From there, he's going to reverse the grip again, so knobs up, take a step or two in. He's going to do jumping jacks. Looking for him to open up as wide as he can, bring it in. And we're always looking for speed, keeping that heart rate up. Once he's done with that, he's going to keep that same grip, same spot where he's standing, and he's going to do torso rotation. We want to incorporate a little more core into this, get some obliques. And if you notice, we allow him to twist his hips a little bit so we keep that sheer force off of his lumbar spine. So that's all right, as long as we get that torso rotation. After that, he's going to go back to the original grip, and he's going to do circle in and circle out. So 2 or 3 reps of each. Circle in, opening up real big, bringing the rope in. And then he's going to go circle out. Same exact thing, real big, open up. Then we want to involve some movement in with these. So things like we do with our women's basketball team. We'll do a shuffle plus singles. So he's going to do a 3-step shuffle to one side, 3-step shuffle to the other side for the full time. So go ahead, do 2 reps. Staying low, sinking the hips, bend the knees, getting back and forth as quick as possible. After that, we're like, how can we get some more glute in with this without just doing a squat? So we're like reverse lunge plus singles. So go for it. So it gets the singles going, reverse lunge, getting that knee an inch from the ground every single time. Perfect. Then we want to hit a little more frontal plane stuff. So we'll say, we'll go lateral lunge plus singles. So be in that position, lunge to one side, down and back on the heel, lunge to the other. They'll do that for the whole time period. Our last movement we have for you is squat jumps plus singles. So what Dustin's going to do, he's going to start off in that static position, and he's going to stay right here. And he's going to keep getting the singles going, and then he's going to jump up, regroup, stay in that static squat. I don't want a counter movement jump, squat jump. So go for it, 2 or 3 reps, and jump. Good. Jump. Perfect. You can also do those for power if you want to. So he'll stay down, have both ropes at the same time. He's going to jump up, open up, and slam down. So jump, slam, jump. Perfect. And that's typical of what a circuit we like to do with our sports over there in Jenison. Now I'll hand it over to Coach Hoke.
about now? All right. Okay. I'm just going to show 2 other exercises because my man here is getting pretty crushed. Sometimes, you know, we like to do stuff like, you know, we'll throw in these exercises when we're doing stuff in conjunction with other things in the weight room, whether it's a press or pull. One thing I'm going to show you here is doing a med ball slam without the med ball. So you've already seen the slam that's going straight ahead, but now I'm going to show you one where you would take the med ball up and over and come down to the outside of the knee, but now we're just going to do it with the rope. So Dustin, you've gotten really good at this. Let me have some good reps. See how he brings it up and over, outside of the knee. Once again, just another variation of the slam. And that's something that we like to do if we don't have the room, we've already got the ropes out and we can't use a medicine ball. And then I'll show you one core exercise that we like to use a lot. And it's just what we call a Russian twist, and you can do this with med ball or plate. But once again, if we have the ropes out, we like to involve the ropes in it as well. And you just take it over your legs. So up and over, up and over, up and over, hard. You really got to pull up hard and over, and it's mainly upper body because you can't really use your legs to get that momentum. Thank you very much, Dustin. That was a good job. Like I said, from a rope standpoint, we mostly incorporate our ropes in the weight room. We have nice hooks, we have a nice room for it, and we'll use those as far as more shoulder type movements to go with the movements that we're doing, presses or pulls. So if we're doing a lot of time under tension, where we want to really keep the metabolic rate up and keep the guys working and just pushing hard, and you always hear hard work. So we like to throw a lot of that stuff in a timed fashion. You know, we're very fortunate that we've got hooks like this and we've got a facility like this, but these ropes will go anywhere. You can put them around goalposts. You can put multi-directional around the goalposts. You can use fence posts. You can use sleds if you have sleds. And you can do all these kind of exercises like that. But that's just one way of using the rope. And if you're looking at buying something, purchasing a piece of equipment, it truly does have to be multifunctional because you want to get the most out of it you can. These are not the only things you can do with the rope. We'll take the ropes, and I know that we're out here, but just imagine, we have our squat racks inside, we have our pull-up handles. We will put the ropes up over the handles, and we will do rope chins, just like the old school towels. We've got the ropes, so we're going to use them, and they're a pain to hold on to, especially the thick ones like we have here. Also, you know, if you've got a guy that really can't do good rope chins, you can still do a modified pull-up by having them lay down in a plank position and do a plank row and still get nice good reps and work the forearms. And that's just one way. A crazier way of using the ropes, which we've done in the past, is we've actually looped them over the top and tied them and then double tied them to make sure they're secure. And since we don't have any places where we can do a rope climb, and obviously there's a safety issue there as well, we have had our athletes lay on the ground with the rope, and they've had to stay in a plank and lift themselves and rope pull themselves up into a standing position and then come back down under control, all in a plank, up and down for time. That was something we added as a Spartan challenge in the weight room, just to finish off something else we were doing in the workout with their grip and their back. So that's just one way of adding stuff in there. You can also bring your ropes out and use them for, if you want to say GPP exercises. We'll use our TRX straps out here as well, but sometimes we'll just come out and we'll bring the ropes. So we can have the athlete hold the rope, we can have them do a lunge and a pull, we can have them do exercises, we can have them sit back, have the ropes loop like that, sit, row, back up, row, back up. So there's a multitude of exercises you can do like that with a sled. We also use them in relay races where they've just used a hand-over-hand pull. So we've loaded up the sleds. You may have one guy on the ground, the other guy behind him with the rope, and it's just go, boom, pull, 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 pull. Other guy's taking the rope back, then it's his turn. Then it's the next turn, and you just take the sled all the way down the field, bring it back. So it's been a relay race that we've liked to use in the past. But so they're very multifaceted. We've used them on small sleds, big sleds as a group. You can just throw it over your shoulder, make them drag backwards. You know, like I said, we use these a lot for our finishers and stuff like that that we'll do out here after a full workout. They come in different sizes, different thicknesses. This is a rope we got from John. John did a great job. He put a nice metal cleat on the end. It's very secure. We can hook it to the eye holes on all our sleds. We can hook it up various things in there, do the same type of things with it. It's a little thinner rope. I've even taken this rope and used it before, and I think you guys were already out here when I explained this. I've looped the rope under the bar and taped it, looped the other rope under the bar, so now the bar is in between, and actually made our guys do shrugs on a grip day. So not only did they have to do their other grip work, now they're doing shrugs with a nice fat grip where they had to hold on to the rope. So once again, if you're looking to purchase something, it's things like this where they're not just one-dimensional. There's a lot of things you can do with it, and a lot of this stuff we just kind of, well, maybe we'll tie this up here and try this. And it's worked out very well for us, and we're always looking up for new exercises to go with this. But does anybody have any questions? Anybody have anything want to add? Hark? No? John? You got something new? No? Bent iron performance? Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it. This is only a small part, and I know after this, Coach Mandy is planning on taking 2 of our athletes through a workout to kind of show you a little more of what we do with them in their regular workouts. Okay, thank you.